From San Francisco to Paris, Nashville to Amsterdam, we're reaching up.
This is Don Fass in San Francisco, and we're reaching up again this week with music, some cool wisdom, and special guests.
Hey, this is Phil Joel with Don on Reaching Up.
This is Don Fass, and we're backstage at Spirit West Coast Del Mar with Phil Joel, while Matthew West is finishing up his set on stage. You might be able to hear that in the background. Phil, I just asked you off air, so let me ask you on. How long have you been out of the Newsboys now?
3.5 years. Yep, 3.5. After spending 12 years in the band, 3.5 out. It's been great.
So what's it like now? You're not exactly solo. I mean, you have a band, but you're sort of solo.
Yeah, it's just different. You know, it's a little more low key than the whole Newsboys world for sure. But it's fun, and I'm just in control of my schedule, which is nice. So if my son has a birthday, I can stay home.
Now, is home still Australia, or you live here now?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yes.
Close, but not the same country.
Close, but
Sorry
no cigar.
about that.
Yeah.
No cigar, right?
Yeah.
So, do you travel as much?
No way. No, I do about 40 to 50 shows a year, which is just enough, and then work on records when I'm at home, and I have a studio at home, so I make my records at home, which is great. So the kids can run around and be a part of the chaos, and yeah.
Has the focus of your music, I'm not talking about the style, but the focus changed at all since you were with the Newsboys?
Yeah, it's pretty focused. It's pretty focused on helping people be a little more deliberate in seeking God. It really is. We started a ministry called Deliberate People, which helps people be more focused in seeking God on a daily basis, because we realize, we can create great musical moments and all that sort of stuff, but unless people are seeking God on their own and committed to hearing from Him and getting to know Him, then we're sort of, we're just creating moments out here in the world, so, in our musical worlds. So Deliberate People is something that we're very busy with, and our music sort of leads people to that.
Define that term, though, a little bit more. Deliberate people.
Yeah, well, we realize that, life is all about relationships. Our relationship with God first, then with our wives, then with our kids, and onward and outward. Relationship, it's a massive word. And any time we want to build a relationship with anybody, it takes time. So it's the same with our relationship with God. It takes time. And we have to set aside time every day to spend time with Him. I believe if we want to become the men or women God wants us to be, and we want to hear from Him, hear His voice, we need to attune our ear to His voice. We need to open the Word and be people who are drawing away to be with their Father, just like Jesus did. He drew away from the disciples, from the crowds, to be with the Father, so that He could hear His voice and walk in His ways and do the things the Father was telling Him to do. So we need to be deliberate about that. And I know that the world is a busy world, a busy place, but we have to be serious. If we're serious about our relationship with God, then we need to be deliberate about seeking Him.
So that, of course, does not mean just four walls of a church.
No, that's right. Sunday's great, but that's really where we come together to celebrate together. But every day, I just believe that the best time for me has been just getting up before my kids get up and opening the Word there and spending time with God one-on-one and just saying, hey, Lord, speak to me, show me things I wouldn't know on my own. So
you're also doing records for kids?
Yeah, I've made one, and I'm nearly done with another one. And it's kind of more mature kind of kid stuff, but it's content-wise, it's definitely for kids. It's cool. Yeah, it's about getting good stuff into kids' hearts at a young age.
We're doing this interview at a time when not just the U.S., but Australia, New Zealand, the whole world is kind of in a funk economically and in many other ways. The oil spill off the Gulf, all kinds of stuff going on. Are you optimistic now?
Yeah, things can change. The reason I know things can change is because God's changed me. And a nation can change because if He can change me, He can change you, and He can change anyone else, as long as we're willing to yield our hearts and surrender. 2 Chronicles makes it pretty straightforward. If my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked ways and seek my face, I will hear them, I will forgive them, and I will heal their land. So He's talking to the church there. He's not talking to who we would consider, non-believing pagans or whatnot. He's talking to the church. He's saying, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and begin to seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I'll heal their land. So it's up to us as individuals to seek God and put that at the top of our priority list.
I interviewed Rick Warren's wife, Kay Warren, about a year and a half ago, she wrote a book called Dangerous Surrender. And since you're talking about surrender, what do you tell people about the fact that it is kind of dangerous and certainly uncomfortable?
Yeah, well, that's what it is, but that's the best place to be. Surrendered wholeheartedly to God, not just compartments, not just bits and pieces, not just Sunday, not just a little bit of a religious sort of additive that we have in our lives, but everything, every part of our lives, our finances, our relationships, our careers, whatever, no matter what it is, to surrender our hearts to those things to God and say, God, do what you will with them. Lead me, guide me, show me, and then begin listening. As we yield, as we surrender, God will begin to show us things that we've never seen on our own. Jeremiah 33:3 says, call unto me and I'll show you great and marvelous things that you wouldn't know on your own. But we need a call. We need to yield ourselves. We need to humble ourselves before God. And to me, that means a daily thing, not just one sort of crying, blubbering moment down the front at an altar call. That means every day saying, Lord, here I am. And drawing away and saying, Lord, here I am. Show me what you want to show me. I'm yours.
You've been part of a mega group, the Newsboys. You've been very active and successful on your own the last 3 years. What would Phil Joel like to do as I hesitate to use the term performer. I don't know if you consider yourself that, or worship leader in the future?
I don't know. Don't have an answer for that. Just take it one day at a time.
Reaching Up Radio is a production of Street Cats Foundation for Youth and One Heart for Kids. Our engineers in San Francisco, John Clem and David Molina. And in Denver, Michael Tamburello of TMG Music. Email us at reachingupradio@yahoo.com or write us at Post Office Box 72174, Oakland, California 94612. Or see us on the web and join us at reachingupradio.com. This is Don Fass. Join us next weekend and keep reaching up.